Hello, guys, and welcome back to our channel. We are very excited to be with you guys today.
Yes.
On this segment of today's podcast, we are going to be answering some questions that we received from the last video. So we're just going to kind of like piggyback off one another with the questions that have been asked and
Continue the conversation from last week.
Yeah.
I know I talked about us talking about money trauma, but I think there was still more for us to dive in from what we talked about last week.
Last week though was about being a single parent. It was
Yeah.
single parent. So we'll just kind of like piggyback off that a little bit. Like I said, answer a few questions, and if you guys have more questions after that, we can continue this segment. But we just kind of like want to get these questions answered so that maybe we can start a new a different topic on a different day. But we'll see.
Yeah. So the first question, so this is for one of my friends that watched the podcast. So first question is for you.
Okay.
She said you referenced that having food stamps made you feel ashamed. And her question is, do you believe the stigma around being on welfare and having food stamps make you feel ashamed, or was it something else?
I think at that time it was the stigma behind it. And not only the stigma behind that, it was just the stigma that had been placed on me. Because as a young single mother, you're already kind of like stereotyped with having multiple baby daddies or whatever the situation may be. Not really people understanding why some people end up in the situations that they kind of end up in. But then I think it was just centered around the stigma of being on welfare and being a single mother at the same time. Today, I do not feel that way. I feel like if you are a single mother and you need some assistance, and
get you some assistance.
Because I'm gonna tell you like this: I personally was not getting child support, and when it would come 6-7 months at a time. It was never like a
consistent.
Yeah, it was never consistent. I never got consistent payments. So literally, I was taking care of 5 children by myself. So food stamps was never an option. I had to have assistance, because I didn't have a rich mom or a rich daddy that I could go to and ask for help. You know what I mean? I was doing it on my own, and I was working. So the whole thing about people just getting welfare and not working, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Yeah.
I worked, and I still had to get assistance because I just couldn't afford to take everything by myself. So it was a combination of two things, just the whole thing about being on welfare and about being a single mother on welfare, that kind of like made me ashamed of being on it. But like I said, today, if I had to get food stamps today for my kids, I wouldn't think twice about it, wouldn't be bothered by what somebody else thought or had to say about it. I would
if you need it, you need it. I mean, it's food. Who about to be hungry?
And literally, if it hadn't been for those assistants, my children would have starved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we wouldn't have had a roof over our head. You know what I mean? Because it would have been, I would have had to make the choice: food or rent.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, kind of like go through and see what would have been more important. And at that time, I wouldn't want my kids living out on the streets, so I probably would have chose rent, over food. But I mean, I'm glad there was a situation that I never had to experience, but that's just what it would have been at that time.
Yeah.
So
the next question is for me, and she said that I referenced not dating in 10 years and asked if I can go into more detail as to what made me make that decision, and if I feel as if I would want to start dating again, and what did I learn from my last relationship. So I definitely want to start dating again. I just have to continue to work on being the eldest daughter comes with a lot, so you really just learn to depend on yourself. And so because I learned to depend on myself, I really do not know how to depend on nobody. I don't know how to ask nobody for nothing. I'm working on it, so let me not say that I don't know how. I've been working on trying to ask for help if I need it, and allowing people to do stuff for me because I'm just so used to doing stuff for everybody. And so I feel like that will make a man not want to date me because he'll want to do something for me, and
hyper independency. Hyper independency.
Yeah.
And I think that is a thing where a good man would have a problem with.
Yeah.
I really do. I feel like that would be a challenge for him.
Oh yeah, and
because if he's a good man, he's gonna want to be able to do things for you. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna want you to come to him.
Yeah.
With problems.
Well, and that's what I also been praying about is if I do meet somebody that they're intentional. Because if you do know that's something that I struggle with, you would be intentional with not waiting and just doing. I like people to take the initiative. If you want to do something for me, don't ask me, just do it. Because if I have time to think about it, then I may want to just do it myself. If I feel like you're not getting it done when I feel like it needs to be done. So that's why I said I want to work more on that, but I am open.
Yeah, and then not only that, just him being understanding to that. You know what I mean? Just that kind of background.
Because I don't want to be that way.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. I'm not just saying this is just the way I am. No, because I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
But I do want to date, and I'm open to dating. I would just have to have somebody that is so intentional. Because I'm very intentional. So they would have to be so intentional that I don't have to ask because they hear me. You know, if I say something, they remember. If they know that they can tell that I'm I've expressed that I got a lot going on, and they figure out what they can do to take something off my plate. Like that type of man that would be understanding in that way. So yeah, I definitely be open. And what I learned from my last relationship, nothing, because I don't think it was real. I don't really know what that was. I don't know. I was young. He was way older than me.
Yeah.
We dated for probably 7 months or so. That it wasn't.
I mean, she's not, and what you have to understand is, even with your age, she's not a big dater. Like, she hasn't had just
a bunch of men.
Yeah, there's not been boyfriend after boyfriend after boyfriend. I think I can count on one hand how many
just
people
two
that I've ever met. In your life, and it's just been two guys. You know, like I said, you're what, 32?
Mama, I'm 34.
Oh. Well, she's 34. And like literally to be 34 and really only experiencing like two relationships in your life, that's kind of, you know, I mean, you can't really.
Yeah, I haven't had enough.
Like your experience. Yeah, your experience in dating hasn't. Yeah.
And partially that is probably on me because I think if I already can sense a pace of what you're already wanting, I will shut that down quick.
Yeah.
Like I just.
Yeah.
I get a lot of I feel like my dating habits from you.
It's bad. It's really bad. Because I'm like that to a degree. I had not always been like that because there was a period of time in my life where, you know, that self-esteem issue was there.
Yeah.
You know, and so I didn't make good choices when it came to, you know, partners and things of that nature. But now, you know, as I am today, first of all, I'm a reader. I can see. And I, you know, listen to the Spirit heavily, and so it does kind of like put me in a position to where I do not like. I've gone like what now, 10 years maybe. It's been about 10 years or more since I've actually really just
been in a relationship.
Yeah, just because now my senses are so high and I'm so alert to stuff.
But I think as a guard.
It may be a guard to a degree, but it may be a guard to a degree. But also, I just really feel like now, because dating is so different and the way people are wired now, and they're kind of like their perceptions of what a relationship needs to be, you know, this 50-50 thing. And I'm old school. I come from, a background where I don't really believe in that. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
But can you, why don't you believe in it? Because you didn't see that.
What, 50-50?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know.
Do you feel like you don't like it because you saw where your mom did majority and your daddy didn't?
Could be. That could be.
So maybe that's why you don't care.
That could be the whole thing.
Because I don't. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not a.
You just don't prefer it.
Yeah, I don't. It's not even that I don't prefer it. It's just, what are your real intentions and reasoning behind it when you say 50-50? Because you have some men that just feel like they don't want to be head of household anymore. They don't want that role. You know what I mean? So they want the woman to kind of carry that as well, or it be an equal type of. I have to have somebody I can respect. I have to be able to look at you and know that you are the head, not like you are above me, but there has to be some type of masculinity about you that I can look at and just know that you are the man of this house. You know what I'm saying? And if I feel like I can't sense that or find it in you, then it just kind of like turns me off. You know what I mean?
So what if he was like that and he still wanted 50-50?
If it was like that and still wanted 50-50, I don't think I would care, because then I feel like his intentions would be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe that the reason that drives him for that would have a different reasoning behind it versus how some men just don't want that.
Yeah.
They don't want that role. They
Yeah.
don't want that responsibility. They don't want to be man of the house. You know what I mean?
Well, and I wonder too if it has anything to do with some of their backgrounds. Because let's just say if they had a mama that always took care of everything, you know, and they didn't have the daddy. So I don't know. I just feel like it could be a lot of things that could play into why men don't want to or want 50-50 and don't like women that, you know, say that they want 50, that they don't want 50-50. But I feel like
I don't have a, listen, I work. I don't have a problem with working. I don't have a problem with bringing, you know, what they say, things to the table. You know what I mean? You know, some women feel like, well, they are the table or whatever. And that's cool if that's what a person, you know, believes about themselves. But I mean, and at the end of the day, what are you both offering to each other? You know what I'm saying? So it's, to me, it's almost like, I mean, preference, I guess, in some cases. But for me, I just feel like I have to, it's something about you as a man that I have to be able to see man.
Yeah.
Like it just has to be like this, something that just gets my attention as a woman to where, for one, I do respect you. You know what I mean? Like I'm not playing with you. I respect you as a man, first and foremost. You know, and if I feel like I can't respect you as a man, then that right there is just, I won't even date you. Because I refuse to not respect a man, but I can't respect you as my man.
Yeah.
If I just don't, you know, I can't give you that. I mean, if I feel like I can't give you that respect that you, and I'm not even talking about this whole thing with being submissive, because I think we all have a bad understanding of what submission really is.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about that respect, that level of respect that when you speak, I listen. You know what I mean? I trust you enough to guide
I trust
and
you
lead me.
Exactly.
Yes. And if I feel like I can't do that with you, baby,
if I can't trust you to lead,
I can't do it.
then I'm out. I'm gone.
Quick, fast, and hurry.
I'm gone.
And I mean, and like I said, and you know, another thing too is just my thing is a relationship is not a one party, it's both parties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ain't no one person carrying a relationship, it's two people involved. So both people need to be able to have responsibilities in that relationship.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think too it might just be where we're located. I feel like where we live, you know, unfortunately, I don't know all, so I won't say all men, but it seems like a lot of our men are not interested in black women.
Yeah.
That are here. We're in Tennessee.
And I hate the stigma. Speaking of stigmas, I hate the stigma that is centered around black women to make us look like, you know, we are less than any other race of women out here. It is
I just
so.
think it's where we live. I don't think that's.
It is, but then when you go on, when you see the social media platforms, and you have men over in, you know, in different areas of the world who still have that type of mindset, you know, that very negative, I don't know, that is just very it's a negative
because
like
they hate
relationship.
themselves.
It's a
They
negative
hate
relationship
themselves.
between, and you're black, and especially
Yeah.
when it's coming from a black man. And you know, to hear the negative, and that only to me says that if you don't have very bad experiences with black women,
Yeah.
with your black mama,
Mm-hmm.
your black auntie, your black grandmama, your black something, that will make you look at the very tree you come from, because you did come from a black woman, and say you hate them all.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We didn't get off subject.
Yeah, we did. So yes, I definitely didn't learn it from my last relationship because it was not real. That was fake. I don't know what that was. So I haven't really experienced being in a relationship like that because I haven't allowed myself. And I will say a lot of the men that I have attracted were POSs. Do you know what that means, Mama?
Mm-hmm, I
Okay.
do.
I didn't know if you know.
I
what
do.
But so yeah, they wasn't worth that, truthfully. So I was not going to give them any part of my time because I knew they weren't worth it, and they knew as well. So yeah,
It's bad if they know.
yeah. Okay, so the next question is for you.
Mm-hmm.
She said you also made a reference of the little girl you once were is still back in Mississippi in that closet. Is the closet a reference to something or just a metaphor about still being trapped as a little girl?
Well, you can use it as a metaphor, but actually the trauma that took place in my life happened in a closet, a real life closet. Like I was put in a dark closet, and you know, kind of like experienced something in that area. So I remember telling you that time with that situation that I remember going in that closet. I don't remember coming out of that closet.
Yeah.
Like literally. I can remember every detail about being in that closet, which is so weird. I can remember being guided into that closet. I can remember the sounds. I can remember the action. I can remember all of the things that occurred in that closet. But for some reason, beyond me, I do not remember us coming out of that closet. Not, I can search my brain and I cannot find the event where we walked out of that closet, and it's still weird to me to this day because I don't remember anything after that. I don't remember anything after that, which says to me a part of me died, and it had to. A piece of me died in that closet that day because I do not remember the exit out. I don't remember the events after that or anything of that day. Just that particular the moments that led up to and the things that were happening in that moment. After it, I don't remember anything after that, and it's weird.
Well, now that we done got started, when do you feel like you started to remember something about your childhood?
I mean, I've always remembered that. I think I've remembered that all my life. I don't know why. There's been more than one incident, but that incident is the incident that I think just kind of replayed itself over and over again.
But what I'm saying is, like, when do you feel like you started to remember? Because you said you don't remember coming out of that closet. So when do you feel like you, like, was you 10 when you started to, you can remember when you were 10? Like, can you remember any of those times when you were younger?
Yeah.
After that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can remember events of my life as a child.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even events after that happened, I can still remember some events of my life as a child. Like I can remember, I can't stand dogs. I hate dogs. But I can remember a time when we had a little black puppy, and we loved that little black puppy. And I can remember what happened to that puppy. The puppy got worms and it died. You know what I mean? So I remember that puppy, and it was a little black puppy, like I said, but I don't like dogs. But I remember particularly, I can't tell you one reason why I like dogs. And it's
because now I wonder if whatever was in you not liking dogs, that's in our DNA, because I don't like them either.
Well,
now I did see a little cute one, and if my friends are watching this, they know I do not call dogs cute, but it was a real cute one. It literally looked like a little, I don't know, I want it. I don't even like dogs.
If you want it,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, it was cute.
I'm scared.
It was cute if you wanted it, but
it looked like the snuggle thing, the little snuggle. It looked like that.
Girl,
it looked like the bear, that little bear with a bunch of hair on it.
Oh, you like little pretty dogs. Then.
Yeah, that was cute. But anywho,
now I was traumatized by a dog some years ago, and we lived right next door to this man, and the dog's name was Bear Man. Big black dog. And what this man would do, when he would see us walking outside, he would seek that dog after us, and he would literally chase us. And there was a ditch, there was a church that I used to go to, and then there was a ditch, and then right over that ditch was my grandmother's home. And so that dog would chase us clean across that ditch. He wouldn't cross the ditch for some reason, I don't know why. But the ditch was small enough where you could jump over it or cross over it or whatever. Most of the time it stayed dry, so you could just walk through it. But there was a ditch, and we would have to jump that ditch to get to my grandmama's house before that dog would stop. He would run us all the way to that ditch. But I'm talking about, that dog was furious. I don't know what kind of dog it was. All I know it was big and black. And he would send that dog after us kids. We could hear him telling him, whatever you do with your mouth to say sick him or whatever. He would sick that dog after us and literally make that dog chase us all the way across that ditch. Well, he wouldn't go across it. He would do that every time. Every time. He was an alcoholic. He drank all the time. He stayed drunk. Like, he would be so drunk sometimes he'd be outside sleeping on the sidewalk or on his front porch because he just stayed drunk all the time. But he was sick that dog, and I think that's where my real dislike of dogs came from. And I particularly cannot stand black dogs, so that had to be.
Oh yeah.
That had to be, because I really cannot stand black dogs.
I learned about that in class the other day. It's called something conditioning. I don't remember what it is.
I'm conditioned because I can't stand them. Like, I can't stand a black dog.
Well, I think I had to get that from you. I don't think that any of my other sisters are really like that, about dogs, but me.
She loved dogs. Yeah. She absolutely loved dogs.
Well, then thanks. Because it's your fault.
Well,
Let me tell you about this one time. We was kids. It was me and all my sisters. I'm the oldest of 5. And it was a dog coming. And truthfully,
she left him.
No, listen, what happened was I put all of them in front of me because I thought at least if he got one of them.
Oh, first. No, that's even worse.
Who's gonna let her tell the story?
You don't put. Oh my God! I would have thought you left him.
Nope, he was just sitting there barking at us, and I'm just like, y'all, come on, let's huddle up together. I'm in the bag.
Wow!
I was really terrified.
Was he chasing after y'all? Or he was just coming near
He
you?
was coming near us.
Oh.
We was coming home. We was coming down the hill, back in Montgomery Village, and yeah, he was coming towards us, and I'm thinking we all about to die. It was a big dog.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like Shanna Rosa or somebody. She was my childhood best friend, but I think she was outside like telling it to like go away or something like that. But yeah, so thanks to you, that's why I don't like dogs.
I don't know. I don't know if it's absolutely thanks to me, but I mean, you do have some type of fear of them, and
because I would be running in my childhood best friend's apartment when her dog was little. That little bitty dog they had, Shanna Rosa.
I don't even remember her dog.
It was a little bitty dog. I don't remember. It wasn't a weenie dog, but it looked like a little Taco Bell dog.
Oh gosh, no.
But that dog was evil. I felt like
my aunt had an evil dog. That dog stayed up under her kitchen table when we were young. But
I remember that dog.
Oh my God, it barked all the time. He just didn't like people at all. The only person he liked was my aunt. He didn't like nobody else. And
I was scared of that dog. I don't care. I would jump.
I used to have to set the table.
I remember that time I was helping Granny clean. I was helping Granny clean somebody's house. That was a horse that came out that
it's probably the same dog I kicked.
I almost put a hole in the people's wall.
I
hopped over some chairs, and
I think that might be the same dog I kicked, because after that
Granny left.
No, they let her go. Because I literally kicked that dog.
Was this off of Kingston Pike?
Yeah.
Okay,
and it was coming toward me, and it was a big dog. And because my mom, we knew the dog was there, but my mom was like, they put the dog up. But some reason, no, she wasn't scared of dogs. She didn't really have no problem. She worked in many houses that had dogs, but this particular house, they used to keep the dog put up. But that guess we got there a little bit too early.
That dog got out that room, and it was a horse.
Yeah.
That wasn't no dog. That was a horse. That thing played off Chronicles of Narnia, because why was it so big? I remember I was running. Granny was like, Granny, get this dog. And Granny cracking up.
I don't know. I just don't. That could have been where it started from. I mean, like I said, I didn't always have that fear, because I had a puppy when I was little. Yeah. So I don't know that just developed from that or what. But
I'm gonna get you that little black dog that Martin had.
Don't bring me no dog.
Oh, the Martin dog. Yeah, really fake one.
I'll take that one.
Okay, so the next question is for me. And she said that I spoke about wanting a relationship with my dad, but also mentioned that he gave me advice, which was to use men. Can I explain a little bit more in detail on what kind of relationship I have with my daddy? So I don't really know what kind of relationship I have with him. It was on and off. It was on and off on his end, not me, because I would keep trying. My daddy was married, and so he was in a relationship with somebody that I don't think liked me because of the fact that he cheated on her. So I understand.
No, she didn't like any of the kids outside of the marriage.
Well, outside of the
any child that was outside the marriage were not included in that family.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's just the way she was. She just
so I wasn't. I feel like I wasn't. They didn't really want me around. I feel like my daddy did want me around to a certain extent, but I mean that's his wife. He lived. They lived together. I feel like he kind of had to do whatever she wanted, and I'm not saying that it was her, because I mean he's a grown man. He had a choice to make, and he made his choice. But he would come and sneak and come down to see me because we lived in the same projects. He lived literally right up the hill from me.
Yeah.
So to me, in my eyes as a kid, I'm thinking we got a great relationship, because I'm not necessarily thinking he's sneaking or anything. I'm just thinking he's coming to see me because he would, bring me. Every time I would lose a tooth, I remember her always bringing me coins, like the little $2. Was it a $2 coin?
No, that was a
$2 bill.
Oh, was it a $2? Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, $2 bill. So he would bring me that, and put it under my pillow or give it to my mom or whatever. But then when we got older, I wanted a relationship with him still, because I thought about those times when I was a kid, and I felt like I did have somewhat of a relationship, even though I know it was kind of weird. I just still didn't understand because I was a child. But when I got older, we ended up living in the same area. So I would go to his house all the time.
Not intentional.
Being in the same area.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional.
Yeah. I would go to his house, just hang out with him, just to be around him. And I think that because he used to always apologize to me a lot, and I had to tell him one time I don't care, I'm here. I really don't care about what you didn't do. It's fine. I literally didn't care, or I wouldn't have been over there. And I felt like guilt ate my daddy up with me, because every time it's like he enjoyed me being around, because I realized a lot that I act just like him. He was super silly. I get that from him, but my mom, she's silly too. But I think that guilt kind of played a lot in why he wouldn't get as close to me, because I think he just felt bad. And I never asked him for anything, like nothing. I never asked that man for zilch. I remember there was time I needed tires, and I had one of my sisters on my dad's side tell me, like, ask him, like, get his money, like, he owe you. And I didn't look at it like that. I just looked at it as like, I wasn't used to asking him for nothing, so I didn't. So I just,
and mind you, he was one that he was exempt from paying child support because he was receiving disability.
Yeah.
So he never had to pay me child support for her at all, like not a penny. So I never received anything from your daddy.
Yeah.
Like nothing, not a dollar for her. Nothing.
Yeah. And so I still didn't ask him for nothing because I just couldn't. I don't know why, but I couldn't ask that man for nothing. I just wanted him to see that I just wanted a relationship. I didn't want him to think I wanted anything from him but a relationship. So, I mean, that was just kind of our relationship. I would try, and then I would come over one day and he would be acting weird. So then I internalized it because he didn't know how to communicate. So I would go home crying to my mama, and she would be mad and like, I done told you stop going over there, blah, blah, blah. And I would just try again. So I had to realize, I didn't realize this till I got older, that I struggle with knowing when to stop trying to pursue a relationship with somebody and I don't think it was intentional that my daddy was not trying to have a relationship with me. I just don't think he knew how. So I understood that, but it didn't make me want to stop. It made me want to try harder. So I think that's why I like with dating too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I think that's why I could easily cut a man off, like not about to chase you, because I'm like, I chased my daddy for so long. Yeah. You know, I'm not about to chase no other man that is not actively pursuing me too. Like, I don't mind I don't mind to build a relationship with you, but I need to know that you're trying to build a relationship with me too. So,
and that's your perspective, like how you perceived his actions toward you. But as a mother, my perception of how the relationship went is going to look totally different.
Oh, for sure.
My lenses and how I see it, and the fact that, you know, me and him also had conversations, you know, about you and things of that nature. So the way I see it, and you're entitled to your perception. You know, you are entitled to see it how it appeared to you.
Yeah.
But as a mother and how I saw it, you're not giving him an excuse, or are you giving him an excuse?
No, because I'm thinking about it from a psychological perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm not thinking about it psychological.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it as a mother. And to me, I feel like you just offer way more excuses than I would have ever given him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And rest his soul. I really do. But I just feel like, and I think because I saw y'all hurt.
Yeah.
To where I don't offer any pity like that.
Yeah.
I don't care about what you felt like your excuses were in that moment or at that moment.
Yeah.
I don't excuse that.
Yeah.
Because they didn't see the cries. They didn't see the things that went into being a single parent trying to figure out how to make ends meet with all of y'all.
Yeah.
They were not part of that struggle. So for me, I will never be able to, and maybe I'm not gonna say never right now.
Mm-hmm.
I will never sit like that.
I
don't respect that at all.
Well, of course I know the reason why I look at it like that anyways, because I'm in school. So
yeah.
I understand things a lot more differently than a lot of people do, because I'm taking the time to like learn that part.
Yeah.
Because that means that I would need to feel the same way about you then.
Right.
Like, because of certain things, which you was there, you know, it ain't like I had anything close, near as what I dealt with my daddy.
Yeah.
But that would mean that I feel like if I'm going to give one parent, if I'm going to be that way with one parent, I need to be that way with both.
Yeah.
Because it ain't like I just had these great, like,
examples.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm so big on, like, if we're going to be mad at one parent, then we need to be mad at both.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, well, if I'm going to give if I'm going to give you grace, why can't I give my daddy grace?
And I feel that on you. I really do. I absolutely.
But I understand as a parent.
Yeah.
I'm not a parent, so
yeah.
I don't.
I totally get it, because, like you said, it's a perception thing right now, because the way you view something and how I had to view it. You know what I mean? And I can sit up here and say, well, I can make excuses for myself, which I refuse to. That's just not who I am as a person. I don't feel like I can offer any excuse for where I fell short. And even if it was in unlearned situations, things I just wasn't privy to, I didn't know, whatever, I still don't really just use that for an excuse, because I can make it right, you know what I mean? Or try to make it right, or we can talk like how we've been talking through situations and scenarios that happened when you guys were younger and stuff like that. We can do that and just come to a mutual understanding of some things. But at the same time, like I said, just conversations that I've had. There's 3 fathers. I've had conversations with each and every father, and the conversations that I've had with each and every father gave me the impression that I don't give a F.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's left with me. Because if I'm coming to you asking you for help and you telling me no,
mm-hmm.
if I'm coming to you asking you for help and you basically tell me to figure it out,
mm-hmm.
then that's telling me you don't give a F. Or if one of y'all go to them and ask them for something and they promise they're going to do it and then they turn around and don't do it and you had your hopes up for it and then they don't and just literally don't even respond after that.
Yeah.
To me, that says I don't give a F.
Yeah.
So for me, like I said, and I understand where you're coming from, how you can't just give one grace and not give the other grace. I get that. I understand that. But my wrestle is with, and I maybe I need to look at it in that scenario as well, because my issue with that is, and I'm not angry with your dad. I don't feel like I'm angry with your dad. I feel like I've healed from that.
Mm-hmm.
I have some other areas in my life that I need to heal from when it comes to just the years of being a single mother and watching how things that kind of like transpired in y'all's life and the things that y'all had to go through because the other person wasn't involved. But I don't know. I feel like I understand where you're coming from with that, but at the same time, I feel like for me, because it's you, then it's me. It's me that had to go through it. You had to go through it too, but it's me as a parent going through it. The initial part of it,
mm-hmm.
the being told no, or the no replies at all,
mm-hmm.
or just any of that. It's just kind of like it gave me a different type of view. I don't know. I just see it so differently. But like I said, I understand where you come from, because I can even say that when it comes to my mom, my dad. You know what I mean? I can't give one grace, but I give both of my, and I do. I give both of my parents grace, the grace that in every area of the situations that we grew up in. I do give both of them grace.
Yeah.
And I do understand where you're coming from, because even when I'm thinking about how one parent was versus the other, I mean, I could see how that would make me, kind of a hypocrite to say I can give one grace and not the other. So I see where you say. I see where you're going with that. I really do know that there are areas where I definitely have to heal, from that.
I mean, I get it. I just try to look at things too, like, that's another thing with dating. If I see the characteristics of this man, why would I give them that opportunity to make me a mother? And I can tell, like they already not, but you were so young. So I don't feel like you were even really, I mean, they say the frontal lobe, or your frontal lobe is not fully developed until 25. And so
I was on my last child at 25.
That's what I'm saying. So you didn't really get to even think about the characteristics of the man that you were messing with.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what if you would have thought about that? Mm-hmm. I personally don't think we would have been here.
No. And I say that now because what I look for in a man now versus and what I was looking for at the end is it's like a whole new person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like we would have been here if you were able to, like, because unfortunately they just weren't really good men. And so, but your trauma kind of made you be with them type of men. You were young. You were a child. You were a child.
I still even have to ask myself, what exactly was I looking for? Because honestly, if we're being honest, your daddy groomed me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He really did. Taylor's daddy absolutely was a meal ticket. I can't even put it no other way. This man was throwing money at me like I'd never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a meal ticket for me. You know what I mean? I didn't have nobody taking care of me when I was in my teens. I was taking care of myself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you really didn't have anybody taking care of you in general. Like you it's like you've been taking care of yourself for a very long time.
So that was a meal ticket for me. And then the last 3, their daddy, I honestly cannot tell you to this day what drew me besides personality. I don't know what else. There was nothing in that even signified man.
Mm-hmm.
Like even to this day. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what I was looking for. Yeah. I don't even know if I was looking for anything or if it was just the attention that I was receiving. I don't know, because I can't tell you exactly the mind frame I was in then I just know looking back on it now, the mind frame I have now versus the choices that I made back then, it astounds me because it's almost like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I literally ask more why questions now than I've ever asked in my life.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand the things that I done. Like I don't. It was like I was operating outside myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't even myself. I literally thought
well, I mean, you said the 5-year-old you never came out that closet, then you wasn't operating as yourself.
Well, I really don't feel like I was because the choices that I made were not choices that I would ever.
But Mama, think you're making choices like that at 13 years old.
Yeah.
You're a kid. What choices? You making choices as a kid, grown-up choices.
Yeah, but still, I mean, like I said,
and I just look at it too. I think the reason why I haven't just been bitter, because I could have been bitter about a lot of stuff. I'm a solution based.
Yeah.
So I don't like to spend time kind of being stuck on something that I can't change that past.
You can't fix it.
I can change it now.
Yeah.
We're working on our relationship now.
Mm-hmm.
We talk a lot now. We are working through things now. So I'm like, why would I spend so much time thinking about somebody not get?
Right.
To me, it's pointless.
Right.
I understand I needed to process it. I needed to understand it. I needed to recognize in the ways that I got, I became certain in certain ways like you, in certain ways like my daddy, recognizing what's healthy and what's not. And like moving forward. Yeah. I think we're spending too much time in the past and we wonder why we can't get past it.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, speaking of your personality as far as your daddy goes, you do have your personality is amazing. Like you do have a very fun, bubbly, outgoing personality.
That was my daddy, man.
And I know that was the type of person that he is. You know what I mean? So that right there, in every situation, there's always a light. You know what I mean? So you pulled you pulled some good things out of him, you pulled some bad things out of him, you pulled some good things out of me, you pulled some bad things out of me. You know what I mean? But the point of it is you're becoming your own individual, and that's what I love. Yeah. You're not becoming me, and you're not becoming him. Yeah. You're literally
I'm trying to figure out to do it in a different way.
Path, and I love that. And I want that for all of my girls, is for you guys to figure out your own path. Yeah. You know, that's why I tell you, throw that playbook out the window. Yeah. I don't know. The only thing that I can stand on for sure that I taught you guys when y'all were growing up is choices. Yeah. That's the one thing I'm going to stand on 10 toes down, is that you are responsible for the choices that you make. Yeah. You can't hold me accountable for the things that you did. No matter what happened in your childhood, just like I can't hold people accountable for the things that happened in my childhood because of and even with the choices that I made, I still can't be like, well, that's why I did it. He made me do it. You know what I mean? That's ignorance. You know what I mean? To set up and point fingers at everybody in every situation in your life and want to hold people in captive because of that. That's just not. No, you are responsible for your life.
Yeah, especially at this big adult age. You gotta take some accountability, and unfortunately, and guys, like I said before, I spoke about it on our TikTok. Stuff takes time. Like, we not expecting change overnight. And if you are, then you need to go sit back with yourself again, because you cannot expect nobody to change overnight. You can't expect your parents to change overnight. Parents, you can't expect your kids to change overnight. Right. Like, this stuff takes time, and it takes giving a lot of grace. Give people the grace that you want. Yeah. Give people the grace that you want, and that's
the grace that you need.
Exactly, like that's why
we all need it.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I like to give a lot of grace, because I want it. I want people to give me grace. Like I don't look at giving grace as giving somebody an excuse, because I don't excuse nobody's behavior. Like, I'm going to absolutely tell you that you're wrong, and we need to figure out how to correct it. But I'm still going to give you that grace, because I want somebody to do the same thing for me, specifically when we don't know better. Yeah, I don't know why we can't expect people to do things different that nobody taught them.
And we were just talking about the other day, you can't control the way a person's brain has been wired. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there is a wiring process in your brain, and I don't know the medical terminologies behind all of that, but there are terminologies about how your brain is wired to think a certain way, to see a certain way.
Especially if it's all you've seen your whole life.
Yeah. So, I mean, a person's makeup is literally like really embedded in their subconscious, the way they think. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of work that goes into rewiring your mind. We sitting up here doing the same thing, trying to start from scratch. And starting from scratch, it takes a rewiring. You have to really renew your mind in order to be able to think different, to see different. Thank God that renewal process has been happening in ways that we may not even been able to understand when it was happening, but it has started. It had begun happening before we were able to even understand it this is what's happening.
Yeah.
God is taking, really taking and changing the course and the path of our lives, because my path, the path I was on, I shouldn't be sitting here today. She probably shouldn't be. She should be done following my path. Had about 5 more kids by now. But I thank God none of my kids went in that direction. You know what I mean? I'm very thankful about that. I got 2 grandbabies I love dearly. But I wouldn't wish more on them unless they were in a thriving relationship. Present fathers. You know what I mean? And all of those things. I don't want 2nd, 3rd, 4th generations of the being fatherless and all these type of things going on, or being, even what you said, passing down these generational mindsets. And no, that stops here.
That's why I think stop and thinking. So if the Bible tells us to think before we speak, we need to be thinking before we act too. I understand wanting a relationship. Of course, who doesn't want to be in a relationship? Who doesn't want a companion? But we need to be stopping thinking when we're dating, once we are dating somebody, is this love or lust? How's this person's character? How does he speak to people? How does he speak to his mama? How does he talk about his father? It's fine if they don't got a relationship because of whatever, but how does he talk about him? Because you don't want to be dating anybody that is still very hurt from mother wounds and father wounds, because I just don't feel like it's going to become a healthy relationship, because they're just going to project. They're going to project. And not intentionally. I don't even believe that people be doing it intentionally. I just think that they haven't taken the time to actually sit and heal and deal with themselves. But I think if we start, stop and think before we speak, before we act, I think that will actually change the trajectory of a lot of people's lives. Even with wanting to have kids. I've heard people say they want to have a kid because they think it's going to keep the man. Let's not do that. Because now that baby got to come here and suffer. When you're not even in a stable place, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and then you're going to bring a baby into it, that child did not ask to be here, that's unfair to me. I don't even think that that's right to even do that to somebody. So I think if more people would just take the time and I think because we, Joseph Prince always said, we live in a rushed generation. We're always just in a hurry for what?
Yeah.
What are we rushing for?
Right.
Take your time so you can be more present in your actions, be more present in the way that you think, or even recognizing the way that you think. A lot of people don't even think that they're thinking a certain type of way, but when you sit and are actually aware of your thoughts, you're like, dang, I'm thinking crazy. Can't believe, we would think some of the stuff that we would be thinking at times, but I just think that we need to just be more intentional just with our own lives.
Yeah.
Because if we could be more intentional, maybe we can stop passing these things down from generation to generation. Because I already said it's stopping with my generation.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to repeat the same things. I want to learn from them. Yes, the past was the past, it happened, but what can I do now?
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people should focus on. Yes, the past, I understand that a lot of y'all could have been brought up so horrible. A very abusive parents, they could be talking to you crazy, not loving you, the way that you feel like you want to be loved. I understand all of that. And that's, I want people to understand that I understand that. However, let's figure out what we can do now to change our now. Because you cannot change the past. There's nothing that we can do to go back and get those things that we wanted. What can you do now? Can you figure out ways to have a healthy relationship with? Can you talk to your parents? Can you talk to your siblings? Can you talk to whoever it is that you feel like has wronged you or hurt you, so that you can try to fix things in the present? Because there's nothing that we can do to change the past. We just can't. I think if we spend so much time back there, I don't think people recognize it. When we have these neural pathways in our brain. And the more we feed the bad, that hurt, it's just going to grow. You will never be able to grow from that. But if you feed new ones, you're trying to build healthier connections, you're trying to be a healthier individual, that part can die. It don't even have to be something that's your identity anymore, because that literally can die if you feed something new. So I think if more people, a lot of people don't even know that. A lot of people don't understand it. People think talking about their past is it's helping them. It's hurting you. It's hurting you to continue to relive those moments. Because what your body feels is actually it's happening right now. The more you continue to talk and rehearse and ruminate about those situations, your body literally feels like it's actually happening in the present moment. And it happened when you were 2 or 10, when we 30s and 40s, So we have to take time to, yes, process it as far as like understanding why we are the way we are, maybe understanding the way we learned how to communicate or the way we learned how to not communicate or whatever it is that we probably picked up from our upbringing, recognizing that it's not healthy and then figure out, okay, what can I do to change it? Like, what can I do to work on it? Like right now, and then moving forward from there, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, generally when you do that, you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're stuck in life. You're not moving forward. You're not moving forward. If your past is always on you like a backpack, you know, you're not moving forward because all you got to do is turn around, dig in that backpack and keep on pulling out things in that backpack that's going to keep on reminding you of pain and hurt and sorrow, despair, or whatever the situation might have been. You know, you got to throw that back, take that backpack off and leave it somewhere. It's time to start moving forward. If you want better for your life, you want better for your children, if you want better for yourself, your relationships, whatever they are, you have to move forward. God created life to move, not to stay stuck. And if you are stuck, that's because something is holding you back. And you're going to have to break free from that. You know, and I'm not here to say that I got the answers for that. But in life, we can all find ways to kind of like break free from these patterns and become better individuals, become better people. You know, because we all want that. If you are alive and breathing today, then I'm sure there's something about your life that you want to be better.
Yeah.
You want to improve on. Areas you want to improve in. You know, but you're not going to do that just sitting back always thinking about who wronged you, who did you wrong. They didn't do this for me. They didn't do that for me. I always want somebody to pity you and all that. You don't move forward in that type of mindset. It all begins up here. So once you start cleaning out this up here, then you can start filtering out your body from all of this toxic stuff that, you know, you built up all of your life, and you can begin to move forward with your life, and you can have a great life. And don't listen to nobody tell you, well, you're too old to start now. No, you are not. You are never too old to start. And that's what I can't stand about people, because people want to put stigmatisms on age. You know what I mean? Well, you this age, you shouldn't be doing this, or you this age, you shouldn't be doing it. My kids will tell you, but I don't allow age to hold no restrictions on me. Now, there are some things that I ain't going to do. Like, ain't no 20-year-old going to come up to me tomorrow and say, hey, boo, I like you. Let's, no. You know what I mean? Like that. Now I will put an age limit on that. I don't play that. But I don't allow age to keep me from following my dreams. I don't allow age to keep me in situations where, oh, well, I'm this age, so I can't achieve that now. That's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
You know, you can begin to live any day that you decide today is the day that I want to start living again.
And to validate your own experience. You know, don't look for somebody else to validate you.
Yeah.
If all of those things, your past, it hurt you, it's fine. That is your experience. What can we do now? What can we do to heal the now? Because if you don't want to stay stuck, like she said, we have to figure out how to heal the now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that is just like so important. And, you know, get you some good people around you, you know, that can help you, that can call you out and be like, okay, no, you going backwards. Like, we supposed to be moving forward, you know, like, get good people around you, because that's also so important, is just to have a community. And I know a lot of people don't have that, but we also want to be y'all's community, you know, like I said, y'all can message us. There's our email on our website. Like, y'all can do these things. We would love to help be that community for you.
Yeah.
I also write a lot of self-help books, you know, that I have on my Amazon storefront. Like, I have it on my Etsy page as well. Whatever it is that you feel like you need, I think people need to start like reaching out more, you know, trying to deal with stuff in life alone. We need each other.
Yeah.
We freaking need each other.
Don't stay in the closet like me. Come out.
Yes.
Come, you know, everybody talking about people come out of the closet. Come out of the closet from all this hurt and pain and stuff you've been dealing with. Come out the closet.
Yes. Okay, so this is the last question. And it's for both of us. So she said, what was one thing your fathers taught you that has been beneficial to your life as an adult, if anything?
You would ask that.
Right.
But I can say that maybe not him even knowing that this is something, because I think sometimes just by watching people, you can gain like insight on things. As far as my dad goes, I can say that he's taught me what to look for and what not to look for in a relationship. I honestly can say that, you know, just watching different patterns in his life, kind of mistakes that he's made in relationships, in regards to relationships, I think that that is what has helped me from saying no and kept me from, you know, being so eager to have somebody to where I just take whatever's given to me. You know what I mean? I think that that has helped me ground me in some areas that I'm just gonna stand on no matter what. You know, if it's not, I don't allow. There are some things that are deal breakers, and there are some things that are not. You know, but my deal breakers are my deal breakers. I don't go back off of them. I don't change them. Those are my deal breakers. Just like whatever that I feel like I can compromise on, I will compromise on. You know, but that's what I feel like. Just watching him by example is what I feel like I've learned. Just anything that he's shown me what not to do and morally what not to do. I feel like I can say that without him even knowing that he's showing me these things. I think because I know that my desires and what I want in life are not inclusive to what he does or what he's done over the past, which makes me think, okay, well then if he's doing it, I don't think I think I'll go the opposite direction, unfortunately. And I know that might sound bad.
No, that don't sound bad. I mean, if that's what you learn.
That's kind of, I feel like that's kind of like, I always make the opposite choice of the choices that he would probably make.
No, that makes sense.
So
that makes sense. Well, I will say for me, I think what my daddy taught me was, and honestly, I just learned this 3 days ago, is that I do not have to chase love. I do not have to. I am worthy of being chased, and I'm worthy of having reciprocal relationships. Because I did not think that I was worthy of that, because I hate when I'm about to cry. That's so stupid. It ain't stupid because people need to cry, but I felt like I always had to like chase everybody. Like I felt like nobody was able to give me the love that I wanted, so I overgave. I overdid everything because I feel like nobody could give that to me. And I really think that stemmed from my relationship with my daddy, because I feel like I chased, and I never got anything in return. And so I felt like all of my relationships, I've practically just allowed people to not reciprocate because I feel like they couldn't. And I feel like they couldn't reciprocate in the ways that I wanted to be loved, because I think a lot of people focus too much on like what they want and not what the other person wants. So if a person says, I like birthdays, but you don't, so you decide, well, I ain't celebrating them because I don't like birthdays. And it's like, no, you're supposed to actually like do what it is that person wants for you. So I'm realizing that I am worth being, chased. I'm worth having reciprocal relationships and people that, give me, there's a give and take in our relationship. Like I'm learning that I'm worth that, because I felt like for the longest, like I said, my daddy made me feel like I wasn't worth that. So that's why I know for a fact I struggled with I feel like I struggled with allowing people to just do anything for me, because I felt like I just wasn't worth. I felt like I had to prove something. And I felt like that's what I was doing with my daddy. I felt like I had to prove my worth to even have a relationship. So then I felt like that spilled over into everywhere in my life.
You hide it well, because I never saw that. I've never seen that. Like I've never seen
that I was trying to prove myself.
Yeah, I see how you engage in relationships with people, and I see how you give your all, even in your friendships. I've always seen that, but I didn't know behind that was a woman who was thinking or having these thoughts of feeling like I'm worthy of the same thing that I'm giving you.
Well, that's what I told one of my friends. Like, I don't think nobody ever knew that, because I don't always share what's going on up here, because I'm not trying to speak it into the atmosphere. I'm not trying to like come in agreement with it. I feel like, just like how I say my cousin is, I'm kind of the same way. Like, even if I'm not confident, you won't ever know, because I'm gonna still, like with my clothes, like I like to wear crop tops, and most people feel like you got to be smaller to wear crop tops. So even though I still wore them, I was not confident in it. I just wore it anyways because I liked it. But in my relationships, I did not feel like I was worthy of that type of love. So I felt like I gotta work hard. I gotta show you that I'm meant to be loved. I'm meant to be, you know, have a reciprocal relationship. I had to prove myself, and I don't have to prove nothing.
No, you don't.
And I didn't realize that until 3 days ago.
Yeah.
3 days ago made me realize that I don't have to prove myself. But I didn't realize
But that just goes to show how we literally as people can mask our true feelings.
Yeah.
Or how we really feel about ourselves. And that just goes to show you that, you know, people out here dealing with some real stuff, with some real issues, that you see a smile, you see a bubbly person, you see somebody who look like they, you know, very confident and all of those things, but we all have a struggle.
Yeah.
We all have some things in our lives that, you know, we struggle with, and you know, we don't want people to know that we are hiding this. Like,
but you know, it wasn't even a hide. I didn't realize this till 3 days ago that I was trying to prove myself.
Wow.
I didn't know that I was trying to prove myself. I'm like, what the freak would I be trying to prove? But I'm like, oh, I was doing that with my daddy too. I was trying to prove myself for him. Like, if I show him that, if I just keep coming over and keep showing him that I'm going to still show up for him, he'll love me.
Well, I'm at the age now where the only person I'm trying to prove anything to is me.
Same.
I am literally in the lifespan where I only got to prove one thing.
Yeah.
And that's that I can do it.
Same. That's what I told myself. I started speaking that over myself. I don't have to chase another thing.
No.
You know, I feel like if whatever is meant to be for me, it's going to be. And I feel like it's going to show itself. And I'm not going to have to work hard because it's going to be effortless. I feel like I've had to work hard because I feel like, well, I got to keep proving myself. I got to keep showing people. I got to keep showing up. I got to keep doing these things. And I'm not doing nothing anymore. Like I realized that 3 days ago. Like I'm no longer being that person because I'm worthy of the same love. And I heard a quote, somebody said, I give the love that I want to receive. And I was just like, oh my God, I've done that my whole life. I've literally given the love to people the way I have is because I want it in return. So then when I don't get in return, I feel like people don't love me. And I'm like, oh, okay, so then we're going to stop doing that. All in all, like I'm going to stop giving anything to anybody when it's not reciprocated. And I don't even think it's intentional when it's not reciprocated. People got their own stuff going on, their own lives. I have my own stuff going on. I have things going on in my own life, but I still find the time to make sure I'm being a good friend or being a good sister or being a good daughter. Like I still find time for that. So I think we can find the time. I think that we choose not to find the time because of deeper stuff. Like I don't think I don't believe it's intentional at all, but you know, once you have a recollection of something like that, I feel like now I know I have to chill. Because when I realize I'm like trying to prove myself and I'm like, I don't have nothing to prove. Like I'm worthy of being loved. I am loved. You know, so I had to, when I realized that 3 days ago, I like to emphasize that because I'm 34 and I just realized that. I realize now that I have to stop. So, and let things be what they are. Because I like to force things because I forced it with my daddy.
Yeah.
I try to force the relationship and realizing I have to just let things be. And it's okay. It doesn't mean don't nobody love me or it don't mean anything. People are who they are. And I understand that. So
that's an amazing revelation today.
Yeah, I know.
Because like I said, and I just would have never thought that you were struggling in that area at all of feeling that way.
Yeah.
You know? Or even feeling like you weren't worthy of it.
Yeah.
That's to me the kicker.
Well, the worthiness thing, I just think I know for a fact that's a correlation with my daddy because I mean I had to keep trying and nothing was working. So
and that's the thing about wounds.
Yeah.
If you don't heal them, they stay open. So I'm very, 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 very grateful to the Most High that you have not allowed those wounds, you know, in you to just kind of like remain open. And
let me tell you why I haven't.
Stitch them.
Because I learned from other people.
Yeah.
I've always done that. If I see you bump your head, I'm not bumping my head too. Like I think that's stupid. Both of us walking around here with a lump on our head for what? Like I don't. So I you know, because I told my friend I was going to talk about the whole kids thing. I think because I watched how badly you struggled, it did not make me have any desire to have a child. I'm like, for what? And I think that will change once I meet somebody that is a healthy individual that, you know, checks off the boxes, whatever those are, you know, and once I feel like I'm in a better place to want to produce a child. Like I don't want to bring a child into this world where I'm at right now. Like I want to be financially stable. You know, I want to continue to be healthier in my mind, because people don't understand when you're pregnant, that plays a major role in what you pass down to your child. And so I want to think about all those things before I bring a kid into this world. So it's not that I just hate kids. I mean, I do a little bit, but I would have to be a better. I love them kids out there. That's about it. I love my babies, pudding and fat draws. But yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. But guys, we hope that we answered the questions to your satisfaction. If not, you can always hit that inbox, message us, let us know, if you have any more questions, even after today, if something else kind of like bubbles up and you want to address it, we can address it here on the show.
Yeah.
We're just grateful to be here. We're grateful to be in this room, just sitting, talking, having real life conversations and sharing it with the world. So.
Yeah. I think the way that our podcast is probably going to continue to go is this is like a growth podcast. So we're talking about our experience. Yes.
You grow.
As we talk about our experiences, we are talking about them not in like a unhealthy way. We're just sharing y'all, our experience.
Backstories.
Yes.
Backstories.
To talk about where we are now.
Yeah.
And
where we're going
forward. Yes.
Because that's the point we're wanting to get to, is to where we're going. We want to give you guys the backdrop of where we have been, the things that we have, struggled with, and all the obstacles that we've had to overcome to get to where God is taking us now.
Right.
And it's a beautiful journey.
Right.
I will tell you that. It's a beautiful journey, and I'm excited. And as a 48-year young woman, because like
Period.
I said, I don't do the old stuff.
Period.
As a 48-year young woman, about to be 49 this year, I'm excited. For the first time, I can say in my life, I am overly excited about the path and the direction that my life is going in, about the career choices that I'm making. I am overjoyed. And
your kids are so proud of you.
Yeah, and it has taken me a long time to get here. That's why I'm telling you, do not let anybody tell you that time is a hindrance to progress. It is not. And I'm excited. I'm excited for my children. I'm excited to see where they're going. I'm excited to just see the changes that are ensuing just from having conversations that have needed to be had forever. And they're finally being had, and healing is taking place, and that is exciting to me.
Yep. Well, I guess we'll see you guys on the